New details tonight in the case of slain Houma 2-year-old Ezekiel Harry. Sources tell Fox 8 a tentative trial date has been set and evidentiary issues are hashed out in court. So Harry was beaten to death, his body stuffed into a trash can, and this was back in July of last year. His mother, Maya Jones, and her live-in boyfriend, Jermaine Robinson, were arrested and charged with first-degree murder and obstruction of justice. Sources say in a recent hearing, statements from Jones's other children were allowed into evidence, and those statements, which her attorney fought to exclude, show the home Jones was living in with Robinson and the children were provided by The Haven, and that's a victims' rights group. Sources say statements from Jones's other children claim they were forced to use the bathroom in buckets and locked in their rooms. Both Jones and Robinson face the death penalty at this time, and sources also tell us they are being tried separately. Their trial dates are tentatively set for next July and next August.